Hello, I am Michelle with two L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of I Entertainment. And we are here to give you our just kind of reactionary thoughts after watching the first 3 episodes of Andor. And typically we're going to have those out on Wednesday. It's just they started with 3 episodes and we had work, It was hard to get to.
Life happens.
It does. It happens.
Yeah.
So next week we'll have this out, the 4th review on our thoughts on Wednesday. So that's why we're a little bit behind. But let's get into this. You guys know, you can look behind me and see how much I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. Of course, the first show that Disney Plus did. You guys who have watched this know I only enjoyed the Mandalorian episodes in the Book of Boba Fett. And I thought Obi-Wan Kenobi was a disastrous disappointment.
Yeah.
Is basically what I thought about that.
Yeah.
And I thought from the trailer, this looked promising. Talking about it having this, it looked very kind of grounded. It was supposed to be a spy thriller, which sounded interesting for Star Wars. I was down for the ride.
Michelle said supposed to be.
So then I watched of course they gave us the first 3. And after seeing the first 3, I know why they gave us the first 3 episodes. Because had they given us the first episode by itself, I don't know who would return to watch what happened next week. And I'm going to say this for those of you who enjoy it, I'm going to have some positives. In fact, I'll start with some positives. Then we're going to have to go into negativity. And then I'll end it with a little more positivity.
With a little.
So the first thing I will say about this show on a positive note is, as I said in the trailer reaction, I do like the fact I'm old school in the fact I like on-set filming on location. I just think it just puts you in the world more. The CGI, what they can use, the what's it called? What they use in the volume. It's awesome what it can do, but it's still limiting, as I talked about in Obi-Wan. And I do say that about the show. I like that, again, on-set location is used, and it makes it feel more immersive and real.
Yeah, I agree.
And it definitely, I feel this, you can see where the money is in the show. Like, it is a pretty looking show. So I will say that to start.
It's not like the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was a disappointment.
We'll move on.
I've already forgot that. We're going to move on to Andor now. So now that's the first positives I can say about it. Now we're going to move into a little bit of just my raw feelings on these episodes.
We want them raw, Shell.
And again, there will be some positive things to say at the end. But the first 2 episodes, for starters, I want to say, yes, it's a pretty show, but there are times, and Disney's had this problem even in the movies at times, it would throw me off. There were times this felt like Blade Runner. There were times in the flashback scenes, I really half expected a predator to come out and rip them in 2. Like that, funny. That was the vibe I felt. It felt like the Prey movie that just came out. That's the vibes I was getting there. You had that. You had some of the looks looked almost Hunger Games, that type of futuristic.
Like, what's going on? Okay, is what we're trying to say.
And basically, here's what
a theme.
Here's what I tweeted out. This is basically the BBC's sci-fi show. Because I will say that, of course, there's always been British accents in Star Wars, and we Americans love a good British accent.
I love a British accent personally.
And I personally love a good BBC show.
Me too.
But they've always been sprinkled in. Now, I understand that they filmed this in the London area. And of course, being a TV show, you're just going to get actors around the area. But could none of them maybe pull off an American accent?
Okay, I think on reflection, I think the one kind of policeman.
Yeah,
type,
he's the only one.
He's had an American accent.
He's the only one.
But it's not a knock. Like I said, I love British accents. I just quickly into episode 1, I thought, okay, everybody's British.
And maybe that won't be
if you're going to go with one, it's a great accent.
I mean, maybe moving forward, that won't be the case. Maybe just on that planet, everyone happened to be British speaking. I don't know. We'll see as the show goes on.
In Britain, in a long time
And
ago.
again, that really doesn't bother my viewing pleasure of the show. It was just something I noticed. It stood out to me as a
Yeah.
Star Wars fan. It was different. That's all I'm saying.
Because like you said, there usually is more of a
mix
Yeah.
of different accents. But yeah, this show, the first 2 episodes were I am all for. You guys who watch this channel know I love a good builder, a slow burn, Joker,
Yeah, when
Alien.
it's done well.
Like when it's done well, that's actually my favorite type of thing. You build towards something.
Yes.
In fact, I believe every season of Stranger Things, you patiently build with them through until it gets to like the crescendo of the season.
I like that word.
But you know it's going somewhere and you have fun in the building process.
Yeah, and you're intrigued in the building process, which I think is key.
I was not intrigued at any of the building going on in the first 2 episodes because, in fact, I was thinking the whole time, what is the point of all of this? So we know he's looking for his sister. He's got some part with him that he's going to sell.
Very special part.
And in all of our minds, we're like, okay, well, how's he going to get to the That's the story we all want, the rebellion. That kind of being formed and starting is what we're looking for.
And we're 3 episodes in.
We're 3 episodes in.
Yeah, but to your point, yeah. Slow burn.
But here's what I was going to get at, because I personally, I don't know. I think I like the 3rd episode more than Natalie. I think Natalie was just already bored too much at that point.
In tears, really.
But I will say this. Here's my critique of these 3 episodes. If this was very well written, all you needed to pull was about 10 minutes worth from episode 1, about 10 minutes worth of episode 2, and then episode 3. Because episode 3, we finally feel we're going somewhere, and it gets to where I think the story's going.
It was a little more interesting.
It was more interesting.
Yeah.
And again, not to say, oh, well, you just don't like things building. I love a good builder.
Yeah.
Again, Stranger Things, every episode builds upon one another, but you have fun building. I wasn't having fun building in these first 2. In fact, did you find it difficult to understand what they were saying half the time?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, I know it's a spy show, but I need you to whisper a little louder.
Because I notice more shows and movies do that. You know what I mean? Where sometimes the music is really loud, but the talking is really low. So then you're constantly adjusting. And yeah, it's hard to find a good mix where you can hear the dialogue.
I mean, here's a good example of how slow. And again, if I enjoy the character I'm with, it can be slow and I'm fine.
Right, because building actually makes it better when things do get going if it's done well. You know, but I don't know about this.
But what I didn't need was to take 2 minutes for a man to go up and slowly grab an instrument and boing, boing. That's what we got as he rings the bell. And that's the kind of stuff I'm saying, like, the show just moved so slow.
Some would say it was a bit redundant.
Now, I did
There's your word for the day.
I did like, guys, in the 3rd episode, which I guess you could say, no, the bell doesn't really set that up very much, actually, at all. There's not really a connection there. I did like in the 3rd episode. I did like in the 3rd episode how they all started banging the stuff. And she said, that's not what you need to be afraid of. You need to be afraid when it goes silent, because they had set up that this was a lawless town. So that did that's when it started to get interesting to me. It created a feeling of fear and kind of what's going to happen now.
Like, yeah,
intrigue.
like there's something happening.
Yes. And that's where I'm saying, I think this show could get actually fairly entertaining from episode 3, but Disney needs to do, and Lucasfilm needs to do a better job. A pilot episode should be able to stand on its own 2 feet and hook you in by the end, and this one did not. If I had not had the 3rd episode, I don't know what I would have
You would have, jumped ship.
Absolutely. I would have been like, this is not worth my time. And that's where I think, again, Can Lucasfilm just ever watch Stranger Things or Cobra Kai and see how you just keep telling the same continual story like a big movie? Like, that's what people like. And it really works if it's done well. I don't know. I know that these first 3 episodes they say are kind of like their own arc. So are we just going to keep getting little arcs that feel random?
And then maybe at the end it all comes together.
And that's what I'm hoping. Again, not to keep comparing, but I mean, it's a great show and it just came out this year. Stranger Things, it all builds towards one thing, and you understand why they showed all these things. There's a payoff in everything.
Right, yeah.
And I think when it's kind of feels like it's chopped up little stories, is there going to be a big payoff? I think that's kind of my question at this moment in time. But again, the positive note, I did enjoy episode 3. Well, I mean, quite a bit more than episode 1 and 2, which that was not a high bar. But it did get better, and I am interested to see if the 4th episode really pulls me in.
Redeems itself.
Yes. And there were little things. Again, I know it's a show, limited budget, but I mean, the guy talking to Alexander Skarsgård's dad, the guy talking to him on the train, I mean, it felt like out of Mary Poppins. I mean, I feel like he was on the Mary Poppins set and he just came over to the Star Wars set.
But it kind of was the moment. You
know? But again, by the end of it, oh, and I will say a positive. The woman in it is stunning. She's beautiful.
I text Michelle. I'm like, well, the woman is really beautiful.
Yeah, she is a beautiful woman. So
yeah, I like looking at her.
The show's got that going for it.
It does.
We'll see if we get more of her character. Now, of course, obviously there's spoilers in what we're talking about. Like her boyfriend's death, it's like, we all know this is going real bad. What are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Like there's nothing you can do in this situation. So why just let yourself get killed like that? You know?
Yeah, it was not the smartest. I mean, I understand.
Maybe it was just reactionary.
To be a heroic boyfriend.
But that's not the way.
But yeah, because you want to live to be your boyfriend, I would assume. Because I don't think, maybe he thought she was going to die, so it was worth it.
And I'm
really trying to understand now.
You guys let me know. And again, I know it's a show, limited budgets, whatever. The uniform of the police officers were really throwing me. They felt strange. Not strange. I'm sorry. My mind's on that. Clearly, they felt Hunger Games to me, not Star Wars. It just kind of felt like a generic sci-fi. Because Star Wars has a very unique look. It does.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Almost like they looked a little just not Star Wars.
Yeah, no, not Star Wars. Like like something futuristic normally.
It's Star Wars is a feeling some of the time.
Yeah, because I mean, Star Wars isn't futuristic. It's a galaxy. It's a long, long time ago.
Either feels right or it doesn't.
But with all that being said, I am because of episode 3. I am definitely willing to give the 4th episode. I hope that we're finally. And I know I can already hear the comments of people who are like, well, it's a part of the journey too. Absolutely. The journey matters. I'm not one of these people that thinks we just have to always be for
Michelle,
the destination.
As Miley Cyrus once said, it's the climb.
It is. But my point is you have to enjoy the climb.
Yeah.
As a viewer.
Right.
The viewers need to enjoy the time getting to there. And my issue was, there was a lot of stuff that felt unnecessary in the first 2 episodes. And like, you just kind of wasted our viewing time, and that should have been edited out. That's how I feel. It
was just very boring.
It was.
But once again, and I just like to be honest here, you guys, and I know we can still be friends. And if you loved it, I love that for you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I really do. I'm like, that's great. I want you to be blessed.
I was let down by the first 2 episodes. Again, the 3rd episode, I thought it began to go somewhere. It, like, when I say go somewhere, pick up and get interesting, actually. But yeah, those first 2 episodes, I just would like to, for anyone watching that works at Lucasfilm, I would like to recommend you go watch all 4 seasons of Stranger Things and all 5 seasons of Cobra Kai. And then maybe we can just get something like that.
With a formula, give you some ideas.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thoughts, my random assorted
send your
thoughts.
Writing team to study, and producers, and You never know.
But for the most part, it does look better. I think at times, again, it doesn't feel as Star Warsy as it should. We'll see if that kind of picks up, because I think maybe, hopefully next week, I think from some of the other reviews from people who got to see the 4th episode, I think maybe we get Mon Mothma in the next episode. So hopefully it begins to pick up and I get a little more interested. But again, it should be the job of a pilot episode to capture my interest.
It should. Yeah. And at least in the 2nd episode, and they were 2 for 2 there.
I mean, a good example of this, keeping in Star Wars, is The Mandalorian. It had an episode, an excellent pilot episode, was interesting all the way through, but then it also had an amazing hook at the very end to capture all the world.
That captured Shelley's heart, and it grew 3 times its size that day.
It never let go. And that was the reveal of Grogu. And obviously they're not going to have a reveal like that. But at Stranger Things, first pilot episode, you see the kids run into 11 at the very end.
Yeah.
Awesome hook at the end. Like, who's this girl?
Like, okay, let's put this together.
Yes. Like, that's what a good pilot should do. And if I was just rating these episodes just on the first one, it failed miserably. Now, fortunately, we got to see where it went in the 3rd episode, and let's hope it continues to go in that direction and get better. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Share your thoughts. I know some people really like it. Some people like it better than The Mandalorian. I'm not one of those people.
We want you to feel how you feel.
Yeah, like if you loved it, that's great for you. Absolutely. And again, maybe I did enjoy the 3rd episode, and maybe I enjoy the 4th one a lot.
Maybe it'll get awesome.
Yeah, because
I'm open too.
I was very excited for the idea of a spy thriller in Star Wars. So I mean, I still think it could go somewhere. So we'll see. We'll see next week. But what are your thoughts on the show thus far? Share your thoughts below. And if you have not yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also give the video a thumbs up. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light. All right. Bye, guys.